Today we're going to be having our first YouTube collaboration, so we're going to be playing against a fellow YouTube content creator called Kugane Gaming. Now, I will be leaving his channel link in the description down below, and he will also be commenting in the comment section down below, obviously, the deck that he used in this event, so make sure to check that out, and make sure to check out his channel and subscribe, because I promise you, you're not going to regret it. So with that out of the way, let's get into the video and let me explain to you all of what we're doing. So if you look at the screen right here, we have two Brawl decks. We have Jolrael Draw 2 and we have Kalia Control. So I built both of these decks myself for the collaboration. Now for my video on my channel, we're going to be playing Jolrael Draw 2, and if you want to see Kalia Control in action, head over to Kugan's video. I will leave it in the description down below, and you can watch Kalia in action. We're going to be playing Kalia against a very interesting Mardu list. I'm not going to say anything else because you have to check out this video. But besides that, we're going to be playing today Jolrael Draw 2 against Kugane's Vito deck. So with that, let's get into the deck. Before we get into our games, it's very important for us to know what we're playing with. So let's do that right away. So I don't know why I have this bug, but my commander never shows, so I simply just see this thing. But we are playing Jolrael. Now for those of you who don't know the commander, she says whenever you draw a second card per turn, you create a 2/2 green creature token, and then at the end, when you have a huge board, you can pay 6 mana, activate your ability, and all of your creatures have base toughness XX, where X is the number of cards in your hand. Now disregard all of that. You can kind of see where you want to go with this deck. You want to go with a drawing effect. So I was very surprised to see that there are a lot of ways to draw cards in green. Now what I did to build this deck was basically go to green and then I typed down draw, and I literally just picked the ways to draw in green. So let's start off with that. Veil of Summer is a very good card because not only does it prevent your commander from dying to green, to black and blue spells, but it also draws you a card. So in the case where he tries to remove your commander on your turn, you can Veil of Summer protect it, or you could also ensure that your spells resolve, so that's something cool. Soul Guide Lantern is good against graveyard decks and it draws you a bunch of cards. Now Kenrith's transformation is very mean against an opposing commander because it simply turns it to a 3/3 with no abilities, so kind of got rid of their commander for 2 mana, and you also draw a card, meaning that you get a card from Jolrael. Trackdown is very linear, you just scry and then you draw. Mazemind Tome is a very interesting card because it gives a color like green pseudo card advantage in the form of scrying. Now all of these cards kind of do the same thing, they draw you a bunch of cards, Skyscanner and Clockwork Servant. The first Iroan games is also good because it puts counters on our creatures, and the interesting thing in that is that Jolrael says base power and toughness, so actually your counters stack up, meaning that if I make my base power and toughness 6 and I have 3 counters, that my creature actually becomes a 9/9, so that's something pretty interesting. Besides that, Guardian Project and Beast Whisperer kind of do the same thing, although Beast Whisperer works on cast and Guardian Project works on enter the battlefield. But the cool thing about this video is that we agreed that we're not playing any blue decks against each other, so we're sure that Guardian Project is going to do the same thing as Beast Whisperer. Solemn Simulacrum is interesting because it ramps us and at the same time it gives us a draw effect for the future. Now Return of the Wildspeaker, Elder Gargaroth, and Keeper of Fables all do the same thing in drawing us cards. But the cool thing about Return of the Wildspeaker is that it's flexible enough to also be an instant speed pump spell, so I really like it because of that. Warden of the Woods is also something that troubles your opponent to remove it, because if he wants to remove it, he's gonna have to give us 2 cards, which is not something we're gonna be sad about. Chromatic Orrery is kind of a huge card, it's a huge ramp spell, and the annoying thing about it is that it's always 5 mana draw 1, but sometimes Brawl does get like very grindy and you kind of want to draw cards, even though it's gonna cost you 5 mana to draw 1, so you're fine with that. Ugin is just Ugin, you're gonna play Ugin if you have access to him, I mean, come on. Great Henge is also very good in this deck because it simply enables you to draw so many cards, gain so many life. And our last 2 ways to draw cards are Bonders Enclave and Cryptic Cave. They're both very interesting cards, and Cryptic Cave especially because it prevents you from flooding out in the case where you draw it. Now besides that, our deck contains a lot of good green cards like Gilded Goose, Primal Might, and then we have cards like Heroic Intervention to protect our board, Sylvan Caryatid, Incubation Druid, Leafkin Druid are just ramp spells. Now Ramp Through is one of our removal spells because sadly in green you don't have a lot of removal spells. Arcane Signet is once again a ramp spell. Cultivate, the same thing. Fungal Rebirth gives our deck an interesting way to recur some threats, so that's something super interesting. Vivien is pseudo card advantage in a color like green that needs it, especially the -2 where you get to play a creature. And it also enables us to flash in our commander at end step, which is interesting. Besides that, we have Cavalier Thorns to protect us against annoying creatures that have flying. And then our last 4 drops are either ramp, some way to like destroy your opponent because this has so many keywords, and Vivien because it's an amazing planeswalker, and she also doubles up as removal using her -3 ability. So that's gonna be pretty much it for the deck tech. Before we get into it, I would like to please ask you to subscribe because it helps the channel a lot. If you want to help the channel beyond that, do check out my Patreon link in the description down below. And with that, I'll see you in the games. Alright, so for our opening hand, I really do not like the fact that we cannot draw on curve. So like we can never play turn 2 Jolrael and then just curve out into a draw effect. So I think we're gonna free mulligan this. Alright, so we're playing mono green versus mono black, which is interesting. And what's also interesting is that we have a way to draw on curves. So I think we're gonna definitely keep this. So you can play Jolrael on turn 2, and then we can play the Clockwork Servant on turn 3. And that should be a very good curve. Alright, so pass to you, opponent. Let's see, what could he have on turn 1? Okay, nothing. Timaret is annoying for like a lot of decks in Brawl, but seeing how I don't really care about the graveyard, I think we're fine. Now, Garruk's Uprising is good for the future when we drop out our Cavalier of Thorns. So let's hope that I don't get too wide and bothers my opponent and like he can't deal with it. Because like, if I untap with Jolrael, I think the game is like pretty harder for my opponent. And I think we're gonna have to transform this into something I can deal with. So I think the play is gonna be playing a Forest, playing an Arcane Signet, and then going with the transformation, making this into a 3-3. So this is now a 3-3, it loses all abilities, and we get a cat. I really like this card. I don't like that it's green and it forces me into mono green. Like I wanted this to be Simic, but I mean whatever guys, whatever. So this is very scary. I was very scared of this happening, but thankfully we can dodge that bullet. I think it's fine to take the damage, although we are getting pretty low with our life total, but it's fine. It's completely fine. Alright, so Vito is on the field and things can get very scary very soon. So we might have to deal with that Vito, but I guess it's fine if he lives for 1 turn. So we're gonna play our Servant, and then we're going to draw a card. Yeah, I really never thought that mono green is gonna have that many ways to draw cards. So how did I go about building this deck? I just opened Arena, went into the search bar, I pressed I color picked green and then color picked colorless, and I just typed down draw. And apparently there's a lot of ways to draw on mono green that I did not expect on Arena. Like I wanted to build Jolrael in like Commander, so like I thought of Sylvan Library, a bunch of things, Alhammer's Archive, but I never expected this to work in Brawl, and it's playing pretty decent. I'm very impressed and very happy. So sadly he now has 5 mana to activate his Vito. Vito getting activated will be quite annoying to say the least. I guess we can double block this Spawn of Mayhem, and then that should be enough to kill off he will kill off one of my creatures, but it's fine. Although I mean this is gonna give one of his creatures double strike, but it's okay. It's definitely okay. So opponent's considering whether or not he wants to activate. He does not activate. Alright, I'm fine with the trade. I'm really fine with the trade. So let's see what my opponent has in store next. Omen of the Dead to get it back. Nice, nice, nice. I did not expect that. I really did not expect that. That shall be very, very annoying. Just when I thought I dealt with this. I guess we just... yeah, we can't do much except we can play Vivien. Yeah, I think I have the play in mind. So this doesn't do anything quite yet. We can just set it up for next turn, although I think that's the play. Let's consider it. So we can set up Cavalier of Thorns for next turn, or we can set up Cavalier of Thorns now and then ramp through for next turn. I don't think that's the play. I think we just play Garruk's Uprising, and then we set up a draw effect with Cavalier next turn, and I think we play our Vivien, and then after playing our Vivien, we stick her up, give one of our cats a reach.
I've seen puppies whine less than you.
So that's decent, although we are getting pretty low on life total. We're down to 15, which is quite scary. But next turn we have the Cavalier of Thorns effect. Nice. My beautiful commander is just down. So like, It hurts on the inside. But Rites of Fame is a very good card to play in Brawl. I highly recommend you play this. So the play pattern that we're gonna go for, yeah, definitely take action. I want it in the command zone. So the plan is to play our Cavalier of Thorns, draw a card, and then after drawing a card, sure, apparently opponent's playing Removal Tribal, as I see. So we're gonna kill off the Spawn of Mayhem, and then we're gonna be taking 2 once again. And the trample is quite annoying to say the least. Okay, this could help us in the future, but for now we're not in a spot where we can tap out the draw. So we're gonna play our Cavalier of Thorns. We're then going to trigger whatever, it doesn't really matter how they trigger. Let's ramp a bit. I'm glad that we milled our ramp package because we don't need to ramp anymore. And we draw into an Ugin, the Sphere Dragon. So we could board wipe next turn. So how much mana do I have? We have 5 because we obviously casted this. 6, 7, 8. Alright, so we just need to survive one more turn and then we're good. So let's just pass. Pass the turn, let's see what our opponent has in mind. So I think what I'm gonna bait him some way by blocking here, and then I force him to kind of activate Vito to go for lethal. And activating Vito to go for lethal could actually bait him into like a bad attack step, and then I untap, play Ugin. Alright, he doesn't go for the bait. He doesn't go for the bait, which is, I think, the more conservative and better play in this condition. Alright, so that's definitely not a bad way to play it. Wishclaw Talisman, nice. Alright, although he's gonna like give me a way to like exactly get whatever I want to deal with his things, he does not activate it. Okay, I think we're in a good spot because now we can Cavalier of Thorns, deal with the Spawn of Mayhem, and now next turn we can untap, play Ugin, -3, get rid of all of this, and we will have an active Cavalier of Thorns. We will have an active Cavalier of Thorns. Does he go for the search? He does not. Ooh, nice, 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 nice. So we get our Ugin, the Spirit Dragon, and we just -3. That has to hurt. That has to definitely hurt. I'm very sorry, Ugin. I'm very, very sorry about this. But I mean, Ugin is angry, and Ugin just wanted to like get me back into this game. That's actually very spicy. That's super, super spicy. I did not expect him to top deck Citadel, to say the least. Although, with him being down to like, he's gonna take 3 from this, so he's gonna go down to 11, and then go down to 6. I really think you should stop storming off, because... Stop storming off! Stop, I really think if you continue doing it, you will lose. So stop. I mean, sure. Or like, you can search for a board wipe. You can search for a board wipe, which is actually very interesting. This is very interesting. You can search for a board wipe, kill off the Cavalier that way, or search for a removal spell. That's actually a very spicy include. I still can't believe he stormed off, literally at this point in the game. So I think the best thing for us to search for would be... What exactly would I want to search for? That's the question though. I guess we go for our Questing Beasts. Yeah, I think Questing Beast is the best pickup, honestly. Grey Merchant of Asphodel. Nice, 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 nice. And we're dead. We're actually dead, not this turn, the one after, because like... I still can't believe this. I still cannot believe this. I thought he was going to search for like a removal spell. So that was what I had in mind while doing all of this. So let's see what we can do. That's the question. Let's see what we can do. If we go for Ugin, I think we need to Ugin -3 just because this is lethal. So I think that's the plan for like the start. Although, so Questing Beast does bring us down to 4 mana. Let's think about this turn. This is a very crucial turn, but I do think that we need to -3 Ugin because Underworld Dreams is lethal, and I think I don't want him to give his creatures trample and all of that. So that's the first thing. And then besides that, I think we can play Jolrael and then play Llanowar Visionary. And just hope that he does not have a land that gains him life, because if he draws a land that gains him life, the game is over. So let's just sit down and then hope that things will be fine. So we can win potentially next turn if we get to untap with Jolrael, activate the Return of the Wildspeaker. That could be our only way to win. So like, this is currently costing us 9 mana to pull off. So next turn, Potentially we can untap with this whole battlefield, play Questing Beast, activate this, and then give all of our creatures +3 +3. That should be enough to kind of get the game. Let's just hope that he doesn't do too much with Citadel. Is it over? Is it over? That's the question. He can give it Trample Lifelink and then he can gain some life. No, that's not how I wanted to lose. That's not what I wanted to lose. That's not how I wanted to lose. No blocks, yeah, for sure, no blocks. Alright guys, so that's gonna be pretty much it for game 1. With that, let's go for game 2. After our spicy game 1, I'm pretty sure that Jolrael is mad and she wants her revenge. Ugin wants his revenge as well, so this is what we're here to do. So the cool thing about this hand is that we have a way to make a 2-2 beast, a 2-2 cat on turn 2, and that's always something interesting. On turn 3, I mean. So it's always something that's interesting. So we're gonna play our land, we're gonna play our Jolrael, and we're just going to pass and hope that she sticks on the field. Please don't have removal. Please don't have removal. Alright, so no removal. I'm very happy about that. So opponent, we take 1. That's fine. And now we can play our Llanowar Visionary. Please no removal on the stack of the Draw Trigger. Okay, that's good. Now our Great Henge is getting cheaper and cheaper the longer this goes, so I'm very happy about that. And I'm also happy about the fact that we get to... I'm not gonna attack him just in case he has the 3-1 Paladin. I'm very happy if this keeps on going just because we have Heroic Intervention. And he actually had it. Alright, so that's a good play from my point, I guess. Yeah, so I was definitely thinking around this, but I wasn't sure if he would have it in his deck. Alright, so probably a turn where he plays Vito. I think that's a decent play, although maybe he wants to go for like another route. Bastion of Remembrance is also quite spicy because it doubles up with Vito, so like the triggers kind of keep on increasing and increasing and increasing. Alright, so that's also a very good top deck. We're gonna go for Track Down, and then we can set up the future lands. Do I want that many lands? That's the question. I think we're fine with bottoming one of them. Yeah, I think we're fine with bottoming one of them. So the cool thing about Track Down is that it draws a card, so now we get yet another cat. And next turn we can simply, we can have options. We can slam our Elder Gargaroth, we can keep on waiting by just tramping, playing our Druid. I think Vito is fine, although it's gonna deal a lot of damage to us. And Cauldron Familiar is also fine. So the main way I think we're gonna get to win this game is using this. So we're trying to like ride the Great Henge to victory. I think we can lose one creature and then we can chump this here. That's fine with me. Yep, that's sure. We're gonna be taking 2 damage, which is actually 4 damage, which is annoying. Yeah, Vito is Vito like kind of gets very explosive very quickly. Yeah, sure. Now the cool thing is that Heroic Intervention actually gets over the Vito triggers, so that's cool. It might come irrelevant like in the turns to come, and it might save us. So that's always something you should keep in mind. I think we're gonna play our Incubation Druid and kind of set up for Elder Gargaroth next turn. Yep, I think that's the plan. Although we are getting pretty low on life total compared to my opponent's 30. Okay, so that's quite annoying. That makes my plan of killing him quickly way harder, but we can still do it. So we're gonna play the Elder Gargaroth, and we can keep up Heroic Intervention up. Or actually we can play the Great Henge. And now we can play the Great Henge and keep Heroic Intervention up. Okay, alright, I'm very happy about the sequence of plays. So now next turn we can play Ugin the Spirit Dragon, -4, get rid of this, and this, and keep our Elder Gargaroth on the field. That's quite fine just because it says each player sacrifices 2 creatures and I have enough creatures to sacrifice, so it's fine with me. And we're probably gonna attack the Lily with like our amazing Elder Gargaroth. So I think that's the plan, but let's think about it for a bit. Yeah, I think that's the play. Let's think about it. If I attack with everything on Lily, and then I'm dead on the swing back, assuming because like he has Vito and things. So I guess the best play is to try to kill off this Lily, or we could just play Ugin. And then after we play Ugin, if we play Ugin and then we -3, we get rid of all of this, but Lily survives. And then she kills off our board. So we could be playing our Ugin and then minusing 2. And then after the -2, we have all of our creatures. We have these 2, so these can kill off the Lily. Actually, he can block with his Vito, but his Vito would die. I think we just attack with the Gargaroth for now. So let's just attack with the Gargaroth, and based on what he does, I'll make my choice. I think I'm gonna draw a card, but based on what he like does currently with the blocking, we decide on what the best like way to continue is. So we're gonna draw a card, obviously, because like drawing cards is fun in Magic. So he's gonna triple block. That's actually interesting. Sure, I don't mind. I really don't mind. Yeah, sure, that works for me. That's really fine with me. Although we're gonna be taking 6, which is a lot. Which is like a lot. Yeah. That's not fun. That's not fun. I want to attack and not like die due to my attack. Yeah, sure. Let's take more damage and even more damage. Yeah. This is like this isn't the best play, but we really need to deal with like whatever is happening. So we're gonna Fungal Rebirth, get back our Elder Gargaroth. And we're gonna play our Elder Gargaroth and keep up Heroic Intervention up, because like, you know, you really need to keep up Heroic Intervention up. And I think dealing with Vito is more important than keeping Heroic Intervention up. I think it's not just in case he has like kind of like a board wipe, maybe Cry of the Carnarium. Not Cry of the Carnarium, actually, this doesn't do anything as Cry. Maybe like, what was it? What was the name of the card? Let me try to remember. The odd or even card, I can't remember. Okay, so that's fine. Theoretically, that's fine, that is. I think Grim Dancer is the least of our worries, just because we're gonna get to deal with like... We're gonna get to deal with a bunch of things next turn. Yeah, sure, we're getting pretty low on life total though. The 2/2 zombie is fine, because we're gonna probably... play Ugin and then like get rid of it somehow. Alright, so my turn, and once again we're gonna get to play Ugin in this amazing board stall. So now if we play our Ugin and then we -3 Ugin, we actually this time can get rid of Nissa. So that's why I'm gonna go for that play this time. And like, just because I have Heroic Intervention up, I should have probably tapped my lower mana creatures, but although I have an idea in mind. So if we do this, and then if we can mutate here, we get a land that enters untapped, so we can mutate this and then over Incubation Druid, which makes it a 4 mana spell. So actually, minusing 3 on Ugin doesn't actually kill it. So that way we can untap with the Mana Dork next turn. Or actually it enters tapped. Never mind, not my like amazing idea, but I still think we go with -3 on Ugin. Alright, so bye-bye creatures. And we're gonna put it in command zone, obviously. And we're gonna attack this Lily just because we are getting pretty low on life total. I'm gonna choose to gain life. Yeah, it's fine. We're gonna gain 3, so like we're still up in nuts. And now we're gonna untap with an Ugin that kills the Vito whenever it gets played. So we're pretty safe from Vito for the turns to come. And now we can play the Great Henge. We can play, Jolrael with the Great Henge on the field, so she triggers herself basically. Vito is fine, like Omen of the Dead is fine, but what would my opponent get? The Blacklands Paragon? I think he didn't notice that. Does this give them Indestructible? It doesn't. So I think we just Ugin plus kill off this Vito. Yeah, I think that's the plan. Yeah, I really think that's the plan for now. Yep, let's do that. So we can plus Ugin, deal 3 here. Let's see if opponent had that in mind. He actually did not. I think he forgot about the whole thing. I'm sorry, opponent. Let's just play our Jolrael. And now we get to draw a card, so we can self-trigger Jolrael. I'm very happy about how this deck is working. I never expected this to work that well. So now we're gonna attack with our Elder Gargaroth and with our Greathorn. And we're gonna draw a card, because I'm trying to set up the position where I can activate this and kind of win just using the Jolrael ability. So Jolrael says for 6 mana, you can make all of the creatures basically have base power and toughness XX, and then if you give them base power, toughness XX, we can simply just run away with the game and win it that way. Sure, opponent takes a bunch of damage, he's down to 31. But it's fine that we lost our Elder Gargaroth, just because currently I'm just trying to like rank up as many creatures as possible, so I think that's the best way to go about it. Is this a Sakurai turn? It most definitely is. As long as opponent doesn't play Bolas' Citadel once again, I think we're gonna be fine. So let's see. Ugin is running away with the game as well, so like he's 2 turns away from ulting. So he has to worry about that as well. I'm putting a lot of pressure on like what he needs to play around, what he needs to find a solution for. And next turn we can adapt our Greathorn. After adapting our Greathorn, that's gonna be 6, 8, 10 damage. So like he's gonna be down to 24. He's cried both top, which worries me a bit. So I just hope that we get to like figure out things and not die to anything he's cried top. I think we're gonna adapt just because it improves our hand. I mean, it improves our board situation. And how many cards do you have in hand? 5. So it is technically an upgrade because this is technically a 3-4. So I think we attack first. So we're gonna attack. Although that gives us a bunch of damage, a bunch of like life loss, but it's fine. And activating would make me not have to lose heroic intervention off the top, so it's fine with me. So let's just activate it. Deal a bunch of damage, so he's down to 15. We don't need a lot of turns to win this game. We just need like one more turn and then we should be good. Let's see what our opponent has in mind. Vito is okay because I have the heroic intervention. Underworld Dreams is also fine because I'm gonna upkeep heroic intervention. So since actually it's just permanents I control, I don't gain indestructible. I mean, I think it's still fine just because we can. I think we're gonna. Let's see. So if I activate this now, this becomes a. I think we just Kenrith transformation this. Yeah, I think we just Kenrith transformation this. We don't need to do anything. So we're gonna Kenrith transformation this. Sure, I'm gonna take 1 damage for drawing a card, but it's fine. And then I guess we just attack our opponent. Is that the play? I think we can play Gilded Goose safely because it draws us a card. So let's just draw a card. Alright, so we can sacrifice the food. That gives us some life to work with. We're gonna plus Ugin on his face, I'm assuming, and then just attack that way. Yeah, I think we plus on our Ugin, target him. And now just attack with all of this. And now he has to worry about. I really thought I attacked with this, but I think it's fine not attacking with her because just in case. Actually, never mind. I think I should have just attacked with her. I don't know why I forgot to. Do we keep mana up? I guess we keep mana up. We don't need to do anything. Or we could activate this, and then we would have 6 mana to. We would have enough mana to. Let's see. Does that change anything? Not really. We're still not winning, so I guess that's fine. I guess he takes the damage. And then next turn we can ulti our Ugin, so we're pretty safe. I'm gonna ramp because I want to like improve my situation and not draw lands for the next couple of turns. But I'm gonna keep the rest of the cards in my hand because I want Jolrael to pump the creatures out as much as possible. Because next turn when we ulti Ugin, we're gonna gain 7 life and draw 7 cards, although Underworld Dreams kind of cancels the whole gaining life part. Why do you always have Grey Merchant when I like really need to survive? Is this lethal? I think it's not. If I activate my food to gain some life, I think it's not lethal anymore. Let's at least hope so. Yeah, it's not lethal anymore, thankfully. I think we like saved ourselves like by like a bit. If I had activated Jolrael last turn, we would have probably lost. So I think the best play is to -5 Ugin, although that sets us very back, like really back, and we can't attack before dealing with this board. So these are the times where you need to question what you do as a Magic player. I guess -4 is fine. We're gonna make a food because I want to gain some life. I'm very scared of losing that way. And I think we attack first. I think we most definitely attack first. Actually, we don't attack first, although this is gonna make me take. Yeah, I think we just attack with nothing. I'm assuming. Let's think about it. If we force the jump and then activate, we have 5 cards in hand. So if he doesn't block, I think I should have attacked with the goose. Yeah, I think I didn't see it. Yeah, no, never mind. If I attacked with the goose, it would have been that. So I think I forced the jump that way. I'm gonna take 4 damage. Then I can heal for 2. But then if he plays his Vito, I can still just Gilded Goose on my upkeep and then fix the whole problem. I think we can go for that plan. Yeah, I think we go for that plan. Although we're gonna be taking 4 damage, we're still alive, which is good with me. As long as you're not at 0, you can still win in Magic. And then if he doesn't block, we change. He doesn't block. Alright, he has 22 life. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so it's not enough to lethal. We're gonna activate our ability anyways, just to like deal as much damage as possible. And then that's it, that's the game. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to subscribe to my channel and to Kugane's channel as well. I have to say that I really enjoyed playing Brawl, and Vito was actually super fun to play against. If you want to check out this Vito list, Kugane will be posting it in the comments down below, so you can check out his channel there and make sure to subscribe to it. He posts very interesting deck lists. Now, before signing off, I wanted to mention that if you are a fellow Magic content creator and you want to do or you want to be part of these collabs, make sure to drop a comment down below and I will be contacting you hopefully. Or you could also comment on the Kugane's video and that also works. Before signing off, one last thing, I wanted to thank my Patreons because they are the ones making my content possible. And a huge shout out to iMarkMac, and with that, I'll see you guys next time.